Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about 8 Mile. And this movie came out in 2002, and I've seen this movie once before, and I remember enjoying it. And I kind of just wanted to revisit it just to see how it holds up, and I still think it's good. I don't love it. I wasn't blown away by it, but it's a good movie, especially for what it's going for. And what I mean by that is that it's a story that you've basically seen already quite a few times, and it doesn't really add too much to it. And it's pretty standard and what you would expect, and that's probably the worst part about it, is that overall it's a story that you've seen done 100 times, and there just isn't much added to the story. But where this movie kind of makes up for that is with some other elements that I kind of liked. I liked the music in the movie worked well, and I like Eminem's music. I think it's great. Well, back then I really loved it. His later stuff, I'll save that for a different time. But in this movie, it was great and well used, and it was very memorable. And that's one of my favorite parts about it is the music. When they do use Eminem's music, I think it works really well. And in the movie, Eminem, I thought he was going to ruin the movie, but he never took me out of it. He was appropriate for the role. He was just playing someone who was, like, kind of just trying to move out of their comfort zone and, like, just go for it, to take a chance and see how something turns out. And that's pretty much his character for the movie. And he doesn't really like being pushed and being told what to do, and is kind of rebellious, and he doesn't have, like, the best relationship with his mom, and he mostly hangs out with his friends and kind of causes trouble a little bit at certain points, and in ways he's kind of just down on his luck, and he has a job, but it's not really, like, ideal, and he's just trying to make do with what he has, like, the best he can do with what he has. And one thing that kind of surprised me, and I forgot about this, but I forgot Brittany Murphy was in this movie, and she was great in the movie, and she really added a lot to each scene, and I always saw a character whenever she was on screen, and I thought she was really good. And some other issues that I had with the movie, there was some really forced drama that did not need to happen in the movie, and at one point his mom just kicks our main character out of the house, and it's kind of pointless because within like 2 scenes later she lets him back in, and it kind of just led nowhere. And there are some story elements that are kind of just left hanging and left up to interpretation as to like how they would be resolved. And even the ones that do get some resolution, it kind of felt like filler to me, and it just didn't need to be in the movie. But to go back to positives, one thing that I really liked about the movie was the third act. I thought that it ended really well, and it was pretty strong, and I was always entertained throughout the entire movie. I wasn't bored really, and there was always something to keep me going. And I do like how they kind of set up that Detroit isn't like the best place to live in, and like you do feel as though they're like in a city that isn't the best, is all I'm going to say about it. I just don't want to say anything that would be too insulting, but it does a good job at establishing the world that this movie is set in. And this movie takes place in 1995. I forgot to mention that, but it did feel like the 90s, and I wasn't taken out of it. Or at least nothing stood out to me as like too modern, like too 2002, if that makes sense. And that's about all I have to say about 8 Mile. It was good. I liked it. I'll probably rewatch it again at some point in the future, but it's just not amazing, and there's some elements that I feel as though could be improved, and some things could have been taken out, and it wasn't a perfect movie, but I can still come back to this movie because there are good things about it. And with all that being said, I'm going to give 8 Mile a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of 8 Mile, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and it is going to be for The Aviator. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.